What's up, guys? Zach Silver Stacks coming to you with another video, and a long-awaited video from a few subscribers who have been asking me probably for about a month now to do this. Now, I have gotten a top 10 here for top 10 modern coins of mine that that are just, you know, my opinion on and what I favor to be my top 10 modern coins. Now, here's the thing. Going through after doing it, you'll realize if you do this for yourself, it's really hard to get a top 10 because you'll keep looking and trying to find your other ones that you know you like, but there's just so many that you start realizing through your list that, oh, wait, no, this probably would take the place of this. And so most of these are in order from 1 to 10, but some of them I have to say towards down the end of the line after I made the video or at least made the display for the video. They may be out of order, but either way, top 10, these are definitely my top 10 modern coins. Now, some of them are one of my favorites, one with design and because they're smart buys, and some of them are just my top 10 because I think they're just beautiful coins. As you can see, this is the Queen's Beast Griffin, and anyone who's been subscribed to my channel since the start knows that this is my favorite series. I am going to be pursuing this very heavily, not necessarily for the mintage numbers, because as we all know and are disappointed over, is that they are unlimited mintage, and you know what, that's just the way it goes sometimes with these coins, and these mints, they just kind of do their own thing, and you know, whatever's gonna make them the most money. But it's fun. It's a fun way to collect, and you know, without there being high mintage numbers, it makes the coin a little bit more affordable. They haven't moved much. I think the first Queen's Beast Lion I bought before I bought the rest of the 5 that I ended up picking up, but the first one that I bought was $45, and now the Lion's down to $40 even. So, you know, it does make it a little bit, you know, it does make it fun to kind of collect this as a bullion coin. Instead of making a numismatic play, but who knows? You know, you don't know what they'll do down the road for this series, and I'll keep pursuing it heavily until it's over. But anyway, this is the Queen's Beast Griffin. This is the one that I picked first. This is the 2017. It is 4 nines. And right now it's actually going for $39.40 on APMEX. I didn't use all the price matching for APMEX. I did go to some other sites, but be that as it may, around $39, give or take a few cents. So the next one is going to be the Isle of Man by Pobjoy Mint. So this is probably this is definitely the top 3. I did this one accurately, maybe my second favorite after the Queen's Beast. And I like this for 2 reasons. One, I think this is a beautiful coin. I own 3 of them. I got a little sidetracked on my buying. Ended up picking up Eagles heavily there for a while, and went on my grading journey, which is actually almost complete now. But that being said, I wanted to pick up at least 20 of these because they're, at the time, I think I bought my first 3 for $19 when spot was at $17. So it was a really smart buy, especially with them only being at 100,000 limited mintage. So you know, that regardless of the popularity of the coin, which this is a very popular coin, you also have the added feature of knowing that this is the last one they're ever going to make. They will never be making another Isle of Man Angel or Archangel. So, you know, that makes it valuable in itself. But, you know, with the limited mintage, you know, 4 or 5 years down the road, no one ever really knows with these things. But when you have low mintage numbers or a limited mintage, it's guaranteed to go up at least $10-15 after a few years. It's just going to happen. But right now, it's actually, you can't find this for under $29. You may be able to find it on eBay or some other sites that I'm not very familiar with. But the main sites that I've seen, most of them are sold out. They're pretty much gone. You can't get them. And if you can, they're going to be $29-30. But absolutely a stunning coin. I don't really think anyone can deny that. So that's what earned the number 2 position for me. Number 3 is the Australian Kangaroo by Perth Mint. I wouldn't say this is probably my number 3 going down. You know, it's definitely in my top 10, but it got carried away. And you know, you see all these coins that you love and could be in your top 10. And this one definitely is. As for a bullion coin, I mean, take the American Silver Eagle, of course. Beautiful coin, stunning, and it's a government coin, but the design on the Kangaroo, and I know it's not very popular for a lot of people, but me personally, I just think for an actual government coin, it's pretty stunning. You know, the ridging on the outside, and then the kangaroo details. I think it's a very appealing coin, or has a strong eye appeal to me. It is 4 nines, and right now the 2016 is $19.91, and the 2017 is $18.81. So not only do I like the appeal of it, but it's a government coin, and usually those are going to bring $3 to $5 premiums, and this one is only shooting a couple dollars over. So you know, it's a smart buy if you're not wanting to buy generic. I mean, for a couple more dollars to, you know, per premium, though I know some people have a hard time doing that. To guarantee you get that premium back later, which is going to happen. I've sold, so I know that personally. You know, I think it's a smart buy. So for that reason, it gets number 3 for me. Number 4 is the Chinese Panda, 2013 to be exact. I love this design. All the Chinese Panda's designs are beautiful. They are. The proof background that they do, giving it the white or the black finish, it's just very, very artistic to me. So I don't personally own any at this moment. I have some other goals that you guys have seen that I'm trying to work towards. Maybe in a year, or maybe at the end of the year when I reach my goals, I'll probably pick up some pandas unless I find them for a steal. But you know, that being said, I basically just picked this for simply because of its design. I think it's beautiful, and right now it's at most places priced at $45.64. Just because these are very sought after coins, which it's funny to me that it's that expensive though, because it was an 8 million mintage for this year, or for 2013. So I'm not sure. I can't really say why, you know, why it would be justifiable for it to be that expensive, because you know, there are other sought after coins that are this year, and yeah, they're, you know, $70 at this point, but their mintage is 50,000 to 100,000. So I'm not sure I understand that, but either way, the design alone gets number 4 position for me. And yeah, so the next one is going to be from the Predator series, the Cougar by Royal Canadian Mint. This is the 2016. It had a maximum mintage of 1 million. They may have stopped before then. I haven't found the final count. But I love the radial lines and the detail in the Cougar's fur. I think it's beautiful, very, very stunning. And on the reverse, the reverse proof for the Queen's face, I think it does a lot for it. And you know, another thing too, because people that might not feel comfortable buying maple leafs because of the milk spotting, I think the main reason they've gone to radial lines is because it really helps. For whatever it is, the reason it is that they get all their coins are milk spotted after a few years, especially they're just plain maple leaves. Once they've gone to this design or the frost finish, it seemed to have kind of cut that out and left that alone. But this is right now priced at $21.99, so a few extra dollars for a premium. You're going to get it about the same price as an American Eagle. You know, so it's just another coin that I think is stunning, and if I have the opportunity to get one that's, you know, where it feels the right time for me, then I'm going to do so, because I do love the Predator series. And the next one is going to be the 2014 Australian Koala. Now, I just started stacking in 2016, so I've missed out on a lot of great coins, but as far as the koalas go, I think this is my favorite. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but I love the face on this koala. I think it's just, it's a really unique design from everything else that they've done. And the mintage on this has not yet been tallied, and from what I've seen, it's probably, I would assume that it has been tallied, simply because it was 2 years ago, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So if anyone does find it or knows the final mintage numbers, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. I'd like to know. I had a hard time finding it, but I do know the previous year for 2013 was a 30,000 mintage year, so I expect it to be a pretty low mintage. And right now the price is $41.81. Little, for not being a proof, little more than I'm willing to spend on a coin. So especially where I'm at in my stack right now, if I had 1,000 ounces and I was pursuing things like that heavily, then maybe I would. But I try to take my numismatic plays a little bit more strategic and kind of, in my own mind anyway, try to see what's the best buy for me personally. But be that as it may, it definitely deserves the number 6 position and may even be number 5. Some of these I came up after the earlier coins that I've mentioned. I realized that I hadn't put these in yet, and so they may be out of order, but definitely top 10 coin. Okay. So the next one, whoop, where's my Queen's Beast at? Or my fantastic, there it is. All right, that's the part I wanted to show. So number 7 is going to be the 2017 1 ounce proof Fantastic Beasts coin. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and call me a nerd all you want. I think it is just, it's probably one of my all-time favorite series for books and movies. I just absolutely love it. And the Fantastic Beasts movie was pretty interesting as well, but this coin is unbelievable. And, you know, this proof coin right here was, when it first came out, I almost pulled the trigger, but I had some other things that I was doing. But it has a 5,000 limited mintage, which is a really good play at only $135. So I really wanted to get into that, and this is the first of an ongoing series. I couldn't find the numbers of how many they're going to, but this is going to be essentially like a Queen's Beast series. I know it's going to be going on for a few years. So anyway, it does come in this nice display box. It has a see-through here. I'm not quite sure if that's cellophane or not, but it gets, you know, it's an all-around nice coin, and the serial number they are serial numbered through the box. So you will know what number you get because it's such a lower mintage. And this is the front of the coin as well, or the Queen's face. All right, so number 8 is going to be the 2016 Mexico Libertad. Mintage not yet known. Now this made my list because of simply I see these Libertads when they're the year that you're buying or the year that it comes out, the present year. Usually for a few months, it's not going to have a high premium. For whatever reason that I've seen on some websites, they come pretty low. Now, the 2016 is $21.66. I haven't seen any 2017 pricing yet. At the time, AMEX was showing that they were out of stock, so come back later kind of thing. But for those first few months, they are pretty low premium. So in that, you know, if you look at any Libertads later down the road, I mean, they're, you know, at least, you know, $10 to $15 over what you paid for it. So depending on what spot price is doing. So I just think it's another fun way to stack with the Libertad, because you're not stuck to, if you're trying to keep low premiums, you don't have to just buy generic stuff all the time. This is, you know, if you get on it early enough, you can have a pretty low premium. Okay, so the next is the 2016 Australian Wedge-tailed Eagle Proof. I love this coin. I think it is absolutely stunning. Perth Mint's proofs are always amazing. The display box is great as well. But I love the wedge-tailed eagle design. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But for the proofs itself, majority of the coin is all mirrored, which isn't normally my thing. But with this design, I absolutely love it. And it's only a 5,000 mintage. And right now, for whatever reason, I think there was a pre-sale going on. It might be over, but it's only $69.95. It's not graded, obviously, but it's still not too far off from 2016. But anything Perth Mint that's a low mintage proof like this, it really skyrockets after a little while. So if you have the opportunity to get one and you know you're trying to treat yourself, this is a great option. And in my opinion, it has earned my top 10. So keep in mind before I go to this next one, I have several others that I wish I had put in the top 10 before I made this video. But, you know, I get ahead of myself, and I love pretty much every coin, so it's kind of hard for me to narrow it all down. But my next is going to be the RCM Birds of Prey series, and specifically the Great Horned Owl, and that was of 2015. Now, I know this isn't really going to be low mintage numbers. They just didn't play it like that way, and neither did the Predator series, I don't believe, and the Wildlife series wasn't either. But the premiums weren't so bad on these, and I can't find the premiums on this one. I bet if you can find one of these online anyway through an actual dealer, it's going to be a little pricey. It's probably going to be $30, $32, $33, somewhere around there. I would bet. But that being said, it made my list just because the owl is just phenomenal. I think it's awesome, and it's just my personal preference of what I like. So I thought it was really cool. So that's why I made my top 10. Now that's the 10th one, guys. So that's the end of my modern top 10. Now a few things that I need to mention is, while making this list, I realized, and I mentioned in my last video, that I wanted to make a top 10 of every coin, you know, whether that be constitutional, modern, you know, coins pre-1964 or 70s generic and all that kind of stuff, because there are a lot of cool stuff out there that just really is hard to put in a top 10, but I feel like I could definitely narrow it down to make it a pretty fun video. So I wanted to do that, and I also wanted to do kind of my favorite generic pieces. And you know what, you guys know me, I don't own a lot of generic silver at the moment, and that is because I am trying to get my American Silver Eagles and some of the other series that I'm collecting as high as I can. Not the series part, but the American Eagles part. I want to get to a certain point to have a strong foundation at that. Just because I know that if I had went in and tried to sell, when I sold some of my stack not too recently, that you all remember, if I had tried to sell generic silver, I would not have even gotten close to what I got for those American Silver Eagles. So I just want to have them just in case. So eventually I will get to generic, but there are a lot of amazing generic pieces out there, and you know, I think that there's enough out there for me to do a top 10, because they're starting to do some really stunning stuff with these generic pieces. So anyway, guys, I got a couple of more videos I'm going to bust out tonight. But I hope you enjoyed the top 10. I hope it kind of was, you know, for those who requested it, I hope it was what you were looking for. Please, if you liked the video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. And I have another video here you can check out. But otherwise, guys, I will catch you next time.